Before Will Smith, Gregory Hines, and Michael Jackson, there was Sammy Davis Jr.
If it wasn't for Sam, we wouldn't have a lot of the entertainers that we have today, because he was the first. He opened the door.
Davis spent a lifetime bucking the odds, fighting, loving, and performing with consummate passion.
The only way I knew how to get even was not go on a tower with an automatic rifle, but you get even with your talent.
My father set standards in everything he did. I mean, it was amazing. He's still amazing.
In the next 2 hours, we will explore the controversial life of Sammy Davis Jr. We'll chart the ring-a-ding rise of a man who was born into poverty and won the respect of kings and presidents. We will learn about Sammy's love-hate relationship with his powerful mentor, Frank Sinatra.
All right, folks, put on your seats and we'll start the meeting.
Sammy was always afraid that Frank Sinatra was going to do to him what he later really did to Peter Lawford, cut him off and never come back.
We will hear about Davis's compulsive romancing.
There were lots of them all the time, everywhere. Just lots of them.
And the love so dangerous, it had to be kept secret.
Harry Cohn wanted him beaten up, break his knees, and maybe put out his other eye.
We will see how Davis suffered for marrying a white woman.
We had, at home and on the road, we had bodyguards all the time.
We will observe how Davis was trapped between two worlds.
It could be devastating. You could feel like a person, like a man with no country, no race.
We will watch as Davis ran from his pain until he just couldn't run anymore.
If they took his voice box out, he wouldn't be able to sing. And Sammy said, if I can't sing, I don't want to live.
This is the story of how one man's demand for the best took him to the top and the price he paid to get there. This is the story of Sammy Davis Jr., the E! True Hollywood story.
I'm gonna be honest with you, I always wondered who would be considered the foundation for black people in Hollywood. And to be honest with you, I didn't think it was gonna be him. But let's find out more.
From life's ambition, where to be discovered.
On May 18th, 1990, the neon lights of the Las Vegas Strip were darkened for 10 minutes. It was a tribute to Sammy Davis Jr., who passed away 2 days earlier.
His funeral was absolutely spectacular. He would have loved it. You would have assumed that the chief of state had died.
I believe he wore an 8.5, but I mean, to fill that shoe, he would have to be good. Real good.
When he was on a stage, he wasn't black, he wasn't white, he was Sammy Davis, and nobody could touch him.
In the 1920s, vaudeville was in full swing. African-American entertainers performed on what was called the Chitlin Circuit, a byproduct of segregation. Reviews like Will Maston's Holiday in Dixieland appealed to blacks and whites alike and drew enormous audiences from coast to coast. On December 8, 1925, in the Harlem section of New York, Elvira Baby Sanchez gave birth to a son. Elvira was a Maston chorus girl. Entertainer Lorna Luft.
She was a hoot when she was alive, you know. She had a lot of life in her. And she was tough.
Tough is an understatement. Baby Sanchez reportedly danced until 2 weeks before her son was born. The infant's father was Maston's lead dancer, Sam Davis. Sammy Davis Jr.'s friend, Amy Green Andrews.
Daddy Sam was no bargain. I mean, you know, he was also a ladies' man and loved to play the ponies.
The couple named the newborn Sam Jr. and quickly went back to work. Sammy Davis Jr.'s second wife, My Britt.
He never had a real home, actually, with his mother and father. They were constantly traveling.
When little Sammy was 2, Sam Sr. and Elvira divorced, and Big Sam took his son on the road. Writer and friend James Cutzillibus Davis.
The essential thing about Sammy Davis's childhood is that he had no childhood. His life was the road, touring, and his reality was what happened on stage.
Sammy possessed an astonishing ability to mimic the singers and dancers he saw on stage. When he was 3, Sammy took part in a dance contest at Philadelphia's Strand Theater.
I won an amateur contest, and the top prize was $5. And when they give you the money as an amateur and you win it, then you become a professional, right? Because you got paid. Of course, yeah. So from the age of 3, I was a professional.
His father used the $5 prize to buy the boy his first pair of tap shoes. Sammy's 3rd wife, Altavice Gore Davis.
He had a gift that was innate in him. He never had a singing lesson. He never had a piano lesson. He never had a tap dance lesson.
It sounds like what they're saying is Sammy Davis Jr. was like a genius. It's like almost as if he thought of it and he wanted to do it, he did it, and there was no lessons to be taught.
There's a spirit that is there within the soul.
During the Depression, the Davises did what they could to survive. Sammy's son, Mark Davis.
When they were working, the money for the gig itself didn't support, so my granddad would go out and later in the night and shoot pool for money. They loved doing what they were doing, and I believe that's what kept them going, but it was very hard.
The reason that he didn't grow taller was because he had rickets. And the reason he had rickets is because he would eat Hershey bars and Coca-Colas all day long.
Producer and friend George Schlaughter.
The way he grew up, he had nothing. He never went to school. He didn't know how to write until he got into the Army.
On the road, little Sammy spent hours watching and imitating comedians, musicians, dancers, and impressionists. In 1933, the multi-talented 8-year-old made his film debut in Rufus Jones for President, a short co-starring Ethel Waters.
I wonder if I could find that video and will YouTube allow me to post it.
Henry, where's Rufus?
Ironically, as talking pictures increased in popularity, vaudeville was dying. Will Maston decided to reform his act as a trio with Big Sam and Little Sammy. Davis biographer Bert Boyer.
But he was this big, and he was just all legs and flying. And so they were, I mean, he was simply a crowd pleaser. Without him, they were just a couple of other dancers. But with Sammy, they were an amazing act.
Will Maston's gang featuring Little Sammy was popular. But no amount of popularity could overcome the specter of racism in Depression-era America. Maston and Sam Sr. did their best to shield Sammy.
They say, look, they don't like us because we're in show business. They never said, look, it's race, and they never explained it to him.
By 1941, 15-year-old Sammy had traveled across the continent 23 times. That year, the trio was booked into Detroit's Michigan Theater to open for one of the country's hottest new acts.
Sammy was on the bill with Frank Sinatra and Tommy Dorsey when Frank Sinatra was just a boy singer.
From the time he was a kid, Sammy worshipped Sinatra. And I think that always played a part in their relationship. I think Sinatra respected Sammy's talent. But for Sammy, where Sinatra was concerned, it was worship.
The day before Sammy's 16th birthday, Japanese bombers attacked Pearl Harbor. The United States was suddenly thrust into World War II. In 1943, 18-year-old Sammy enlisted in the Army. Whatever dreams of military glory Sammy held were instantly squashed when he began basic training in Cheyenne, Wyoming.
See now, when it comes to just enlisting and not being forced to join, you have nothing but respect for a man like that. Tell me your thoughts about that in the comments.
He had the bad luck to be put into the 1st Integrated Infantry Regiment full of Southerners.
During Sammy's 2 years in the Army, he endured endless cruelty from racist soldiers including being trapped in a latrine, having obscenities written on his body, having his skin painted white, being tricked into drinking urine disguised as beer, and having his nose broken twice.
To be picked on and not to be able to fight back. I didn't know how to fight back because I had never been called these names before.
There was only one safe place for the skinny 5'3" private: on stage. In camp shows, Sammy sang, danced, and impersonated stars like Humphrey Bogart and James Cagney.
And I think by that he earned everybody's respect because he was so fantastic on the stage.
He finds an equation that stardom equals acceptance. The bigger I get, the better they'll like me. And it was always like, I've got to become a star like another man has to breathe.
Upon his discharge in 1945, 19-year-old Sammy joined his father and Will Maston in Los Angeles. Frank Sinatra was also in Hollywood, starring on the radio show Your Hit Parade. One day, Sammy stood outside the NBC studios, hoping for a glimpse of his idol.
And Frank saw him amidst all these people, and he said, "Hey, don't I know you?" Yeah, you worked with your father and your uncle, didn't you? He said, "Would you like to come in and watch rehearsal?" Well, of course, this was like the biggest thing that could happen to Sammy, to come and watch Frank Sinatra's rehearsal.
Later that...
Well, this is part one of the video. Please tell me your thoughts about it in the comments. And be sure to like, share, watch more videos, and subscribe to the channel.